sheltered kid, and the most about television I got was Saturday morning cartoons watching, Bugs Bunny and Elmer Fudd. I the dream it happened inside of the dream. I was in my second grade class on the last day of school. How you guys have the field day and everybody does like the sack race. At least in my school we did. We had sack lunches and everybody did like games out in the schoolyard.
Something about sacks.
For some reason, my mom
games of sacks. What did you say, man?
Like sack. Here, hold on. Let me get off the
sack games of sacks.
Like,
sacks of games.
Like on the last day of school when you have like sack race games.
You're taking it.
And things like that out in the schoolyard. You bring your school lunch. You bring your sack lunch and like. Have,
they brought their sack lunch. Oh, I see.
And it was the last day of school. We always have what they call a field day. Okay, I lived in a really small town in Illinois, and so for some reason my mom was at this particular function, which I think that may have been for my own security as a child, because my mom really didn't go to functions, so for her to be in the dream, it seems a little off, but okay, so we were all sitting in a circle, me and my second grade classmates, and I had my paper sack with my lunch, and I had my favorite chicken sandwich, my can of Pepsi, and a Twinkie in my sack. And I don't remember anything about what everyone else had because it was just this is how my dream was. Okay? So we're sitting there and having our lunches, and my mom was sitting to the right of me, and all of a sudden these bubbles start coming down from the sky. Okay? And these bubbles they're big bubbles, and they envelop each person into one bubble. Okay? And so then once you were enveloped in a bubble, then you would start to float off of the ground. And, everybody was, of course, freaked out. I was freaked out. Okay? Now, I was really young when I was having these dreams. But in my dream, you couldn't escape the bubble. You could try to, claw against the bubble, but you couldn't get out of the bubble. You could breathe in the bubble, and then breathe in the bubble, but you couldn't get out of the bubble. So I tried to catch my bubble towards my mother and found that the outside of the bubble, if it touches another bubble, it will meld into one bigger bubble where now you have my mother and I were both inside of the same bubble. Okay? And then, so, once we realized that we could do that, then we kind of bubbled in with the rest of the students in the class as we continue to float up.
Are you just bobbling
okay?
around?
Let me take a second to take a breath because, whew.
Yeah, take a breath.
Okay, I mean, I'm telling you, I had this dream hundreds of times as a child in the 70s, in the 1970s. Okay, so when the bubble arrived at the spacecraft, it was clearly a UFO. Even though at the time I didn't even know what aliens and UFOs were, I was too young. So we would go in, and from the time we were taken into the UFO, there was no more. I didn't see anyone else. My mom, I didn't see anyone else of the students. They took me off, and they started walking me down this hall. Now, everything in the hall, on both sides of the hallway, there were no empty spaces in the hallway whatsoever. Everything was either a door, a cabinet door, or a drawer, or a door. There was no just empty, non-used space like, we have on our walls that are just an empty space, or we might have a picture hanging. There was nothing like that. Every single space was a utilized space. And the whole color of every single thing in the hallway.
Ma'am.
I'm sorry.
Were there rain gutters?
Rain gutters.
Rain gutters. Yes.
Rain gutters inside of the UFO?
Yes, it's important. Were there rain gutters?
I'm really sorry to not be able to answer that for you, but I'll have to think about it. I'll have to think about it, and I'll try to have to kind of look for it as I'm mentally taking myself back down the stream that I used to have. So, I'll tell you what I do know of my dream is everything in that whole hallway was like a color of green, like a hospital green, that drab hospital green, or a drab army green. It was a very, very dull color green.
The kind of green you feel right before you puke. You throw up. It's the green you feel.
Yes.
Yes.
very,
Yes.
very, very, very bland green. Okay, and that the color, everything was in the hallway was that color. There was nothing that was not that color. But like I said, there was not an empty space on any wall. It was all utilized space. So they took me inside of this room.
MK Ultra.
And once they had me inside of this room, the aliens, they were aliens. Okay, now as an adult and as I've seen things later in life, I knew they were aliens, but I guess I didn't really know that they were aliens in my dream. I just, at that time I was too young and I didn't even know about aliens. Okay, so they take me in this room, and once I'm in the room, they lay me on a silver table, which I think it was stainless steel, as now that I know my substances, but as a kid, it was a silver table. And in the room, there were all cabinets and doors, and then there was like a space where there was kind of a control panel, like a cabinet, like a countertop that was kind of like a control panel, and they would lay me on a silver stainless steel table, and then they would stand around me and they would inject a needle. Okay, and as soon as they inject the needle into my left shoulder, then I would do my thing, and that would be the end of my dream. Like that was how my dream ended every time. As soon as they injected it was always my left shoulder up on my neck. They would inject me.
I don't think they're aliens. I think they're. But when they come in and fuck with you, they dig into your deep and they pull out something very scary, and then they that thing. And when I remember what they were, it's like it's screen. It's like an injected memory.
Well, and I'll tell you, go along with MK Ultra and being so is I was almost adopted as a young child, and my dad was a Mason. Okay, and then I was also incredibly intelligent as a young child, from the first to the third grade. Okay, and my dad died when I was 8 years later. When we were talking, my mom told me that the head of the Masons of that particular lodge was really taken with me, and he could have me sitting on his lap and things like this. But I mean, I've seen somebody in the chat saying that she remembers all that, and I'll tell you the reason that I remember, and I'm so sorry that that's now your nightmare, but the reason I do remember it like that is because I've heard that dream literally hundreds of times. I can't, maybe even more than that. Maybe even more than that. And it never changed. And another very, if you want to think about it from a scientific standpoint, I'm shaking a little bit, is the fact that my mind conceived this substance with these bubbles that melted into each other. You couldn't get out of them. For a young child in the 1970s,
They put that out on a miniseries. If you go on a miniseries, it's by Steven Spielberg. It's a miniseries, and they're talking about abductions and everything and how it gets into them. And like by the middle, the guy is like, this mad scientist, and he's like, it's all about frequencies. It's all about the frequencies they put out. We could track them through each individual frequency. We could tune them, and they give you all the secrets. And it's like so old, and I'm like, oh my god. It gets way past I do believe, what I believe is like fallen angels obviously gave us technology. However it is, the military was like, we recovered it, blah, blah, blah. No, the fallen angels gave it to us because it would obviously look, if they gave it to us pristine, they gave it to us. And then, just like they gave us, if you research all the shit they gave to us, you get everything to make up.
If you're a comment or somebody collaborating with what you're saying, that they are not aliens, that they are fallen angels, that you deceive us. Okay, now that makes a lot of sense to me too, because I know how my heart is.
It's not necessarily that they're to deceive us. They just
really little child.
Hold on. It's not necessarily that they're going to deceive. Like yeah, they will deceive us ultimately. But I believe where they're coming from is they just have a way different agenda. Their agenda doesn't align with our agenda at all. That's kind of like where you need to come from. I mean, it's not necessarily. It's like if you were ants and you were trying to talk about coexisting with humans, like the humans really wouldn't give a fuck about you. You know, if they stepped on you,
Right.
that's kind of their mindset. So it's not, and yeah, as far as the fallen ones, their whole thing. I mean, they don't like us because we're considered helpers of God, but they ultimately want to punish God and take over the realm.
That really resonates with who I am on a very big level, more than you know. Because even from the time I can remember my first thoughts, I've always, really had felt, a relationship with Jesus, and I've always had a kind heart and love all people. So, I mean, of course, in my life has always been shining so bright. Even and I can't tell you, it's just the same as anyone who is listening. We've had a lifetime full of trials and tribulations. We've all had, way more pain to have dealt with than any one person should have to. Okay, but through that, you know, there are people that are still able to. I mean, they're not thrown in there so often, but there are still people that are able to, bring that light back to shine again over and over and over again. And I truly believe that those kind of people are probably attacked more and more sought after, than people that they feel like are easier people to fall prey to, the devil's evil ways and what, they want.
Or I'm just gonna say this thing for you.
I think everyone, ice cream day, I think about everyone has been traumatized at some point in their life.
Well, yeah, it's mass traumatization, but yeah, you just gotta be aware of it, and also you gotta realize all the stuff that they've done that's created patterns in our brain that are like, basically your brain creates these grooves. So you gotta realize that and ultimately create the grooves out of those and expand, not expand those bad grooves, shrink those ones and open other ones. Expand. That's what people talk
Right,
about
I always
expanding
feel
the mind.
like that, we are put into, sometimes we're put into situations that way that we're prepared when we run into other people down the road that are in that situation, and you would be able to help them and really understand that situation because you've been there yourself. And I know myself, I've done a lot of living. I mean, I didn't let any grass grow under my feet whenever I was young, so I was naturally, there was a lot of things that I got myself into that I probably could have avoided had I been living my life in the right way. But, when we got cable television, whenever I was in high school, that really had an influence on me in a good way with the MTV. In fact, my high school pictures, I call them freshman, sophomore, junior, and after MTV. So, I mean, you can clearly tell in my high school pictures the difference in me from the influence, just having the television.
Well, it's about sacrifice right now. It's about sacrifice right now, and it's about, taking care of a couple things. I appreciate the call.
We've got a lot to take care of.
Yeah,
And
it's
I was
about
going to just mention about somebody saying earlier how they're.
Hello? Hi. Oh, okay. Sure. Yeah. Well, I mean, it kind of works. It's just running like crap. Oh. Oh, okay. How much is that? Okay. Oh, good. That'll help. Thank you. Right. Not yet. I would pay you if I did. Right. Problem is, it's going to go to Amanda's address because that's where I was living when I did the taxes. Since my bank account's closed, so oh, is it going to come there? I sure hope so. That'd be great. Oh, okay. Oh, nice. Okay, so that might be better. That'll be a lot safer. All right. Thank you. All right. Bye.
Kind of trailers popping up. Well, they might run into play with some of the indictments that are going on because there's so many indictments that are getting unsealed, and like the president has in his executive orders, and then there's recent indictments that are brought out where they are going to be confiscating, confiscating property. So, I don't know the substitute, but whenever the caller was talking about that earlier, maybe those trailers have something to do with the newfound property that
It's all possible. I appreciate the call. That was an awesome call. Thank you, dear.
Yeah, and I appreciate the time too, James, because you really just give me a good time to talk. I appreciate everyone for listening, and I want you all to be safe and in God's name, and bless each and every one of you, and I love you all, and we're all family. And earlier tonight, I wrote a Patriot version of Timber that I'm going to send out. I did about 65 takes trying to get it perfect tonight. It's really not an easy thing to do, especially when you've got one set of lyrics already kind of pounded in your head, and then you have to
I get it. I
So
totally get it. It's like one thing
difficult.
after
And as
another.
soon as I can get that perfect version out, I'm going to get up because I really appreciate it. Because just sitting that timber out, it really lit a fire inside of me. So I want to do my little part.
Awesome. Nail it out. Send it. We're all loving you over here. Much love. Did you hang up? Much love. We got the lines open. Much love. No, that shit's scary, but sometimes there's a lot of shit that happens, you know, and like that shit was too close to home. Because there's shit that's happened to me where I'm like, you know what? Keep it short. Keep it short. Alright, what's going on? How are you doing? How are you doing?
No.
Hello.
Yeah.
Turn down your radio. Turn down your radio.
Yeah, let me kill that real quick.
Kill it.
There
Quick.
you go. There you go. I got it.
Alright, you're on the air.
Hey, James.
Take care. Thanks. Say what you gotta say.
I hear something weird. My dad died 20 years ago, and he had quite a bit of money, and he got put into a trust, and my mom took care of it. She died in 2018. And on her deathbed, she tells me, there's a box. You're going to get this box. And your grandfather was a 33rd and a half degree Mason. And I'm like, what? She goes, yeah, your dad and I didn't want to tell you. There's a lot of, you know, stigmatism to that. And we just didn't want you to, you know, think anything bad about your grandfather. And you guys got along pretty good. So I'm like, yeah, okay, well, where's this box? She says, well, after I pass away, you'll get the box. You'll be an attorney that will call you, and you'll get the box. And I'm like, okay, well, what's in the box? You know, is it like a box full of money? Or she's like, well, no, this stuff that I and your grandfather wanted you to have. And I'm like, okay. You know, and I wasn't really concerned about it because I'm taking care of her and she's dying. You know? Anyway, she passes away, and I get a telephone call from this attorney, and he's like, you need to come to my office. I've got something for you. And I knew it was the box. So I go, and this was in Las Vegas. My mom lived over in Spanish Trail. So I go to this lawyer's office in Vegas, and I pick up the box, and it's locked. I got to have a key. And he hands me a letter, and the letter says, when you empty out my house, this is from my mom, when you empty out the house, you'll find the key to this box. And I'm like, you know, she's got a big house, and where am I going to find this key? So I ended up packing everything out of the house and selling the house, and I put everything in storage, and I'm going through some of her papers, and she had a desk, and I'm going through the desk, and I find 5 keys, and I take one of the keys and open the box, and inside the box there's a bunch of papers, and it's you know, I've got a really weird name. It's Tripp, and I always got teased about the name. Nobody could ever pronounce it. And one of these things was a scroll that says you've been named after Tristram, a knight of the Round Table, from back in the day. And I'm like, yeah, you know, what's this all about? And then there was a certificate in there for my grandfather's 33rd and a half degree graduation, and a picture of all the people that he was working with at Boeing on a special project. He was a tool designer. And there was a stack of these 3x5 cards. And I pulled the 3x5 cards out, and there's a bunch of them. There's a bunch of dates that have already passed. And I really don't know what these dates were for. But I come up on one that was February 2020, and you know, I'm like, well, this was back in January of this year, and I'm like, I wonder what's going to happen on February 2020. Well, my brother ends up getting arrested for something, and he goes to jail here in Tucson, Arizona. 5 days later, he's dead, and you know, they don't know why. He has brain swelling, all his organs quit working, and I'm like, how did this card associate that day, February 5th, 2020, or February 10th, 2020, how does that, you know, so I'm looking at the next card, and the next card said, like, April 29th, and I'm like, well, that's my birthday. I mean, what's that got to do with anything? And there's like 20 more cards throughout this year, and they end in February of 2021. And on that card, there's stuff written in Latin. And I'm thinking, I'm afraid that the dates on these cards are going to start corresponding with some pretty weird stuff coming up.
Yeah,
And
they got you
it's
marked.
kind of
They got
scary.
you marked. They got you marked. You got to split.
What's that again?
They got you marked with the Latin. Yeah. You want to get out? That's the heebie-jeebies. They're all over you. You got to split. Keep going.
Yeah, it's this is something I don't know what to do with this box. I don't want these cards anymore. I don't know who to call.
Oh,
I
you
don't,
played the box?
I'd like.
You with the wind, you were the genie, and somebody has to die somewhere around the world. You did the Faucian bargain. The Faucian bargain. The Fauci bargain. No, what is it? The Faucian bargain? What's the bargain you make with the devil? Fauci? Why do I think of Dr. Fauci? Hold on, sir. Stand by. What's the bargain you make? What's the bargain you make? Guys?
I didn't really have to.
No.
I didn't make a bargain.
No, I know, but just hold on. Faustian bargain. No, but it's like Dr. Fauci. Yeah, the Faustian. Dr. Fauci. Faucian?
Yeah.
The Faustian. Alright, keep going.
Yeah, so I don't know what to do with the box. I don't know what to do with these cards. And
Fauci took a Faustian bargain. Fauci took a Faustian bargain.
Yeah. So I get a phone call yesterday, and it's from an attorney in town, and he's asking me how's everything going, and what was I thinking about stuff that was in the box, and I'm like, I'm really not liking it.
I'm not affiliated with any of this Arkansas stuff, just let anybody know. I'm not affiliated with any of this Arkansas kind of operation. Keep going, sir.
Yeah, so he's telling me, did I pull the bottom of the box out yet? And I'm like, no, I didn't know I could pull the bottom of the box out. And he's like, yeah, there's a false bottom in the box. You need to pull that out. So I try to pull it out. I can't figure out how to get it out without breaking it. I didn't want to break it. So I really just don't know what to do with this box. And I'm afraid that, I've heard of these boxes that got some sort of a curse or demon in the box, and I'm thinking because he was in the Masons in such a high degree that there might be something in that damn box.
Yeah, it's probably an FBI tracker trying to track you and the Dark Lord. Sir, I need you to wake up. You have some sort of Faustian box trying to get me involved. Sir, you need to go to your local FBI. I'm not the person to deal with it. I'm just a YouTuber. And I'm sorry you came to me, but you need to get rid of that box. Have a good night. Don't ever call me with the box stories. Okay? Just go to your local FBI. Leave me out of it. Hang up, sir. I don't want any Faustian bargain. Any sort of boxes. There's something spooky. No, go to your local FBI. I have nothing to do with it. It's right out of my hands, sir. I'm just trying to take in my cool calls. Not Faustian box freaking horror stories. Who's this? No. Tap out. Get rid of it. Cut. Tap out of it. Cut it. Application. Do it. We'll take another one, but don't be lame, because I feel like firing at will. Oh, can I play the raps on here? No, let me play the raps. Hold on. No, you're cut. There. Stop. Can I play the ultimate raps on there? Yes! Let me see this. Dr. Fauci. Alright, sign up with Facebook. Yes. Okay, hold on. Oh my god. If I could do it this way. Yuko. And then we're talking about a Ashika. We do it? We do it? No. Okay, let's do it like this. Ashika levels. Shut him out. Shut him out. No, this is very important. Log in. Log in. Drop password. Go. Send the thing via SMS. Next. Alright, so we dropped a good freaking, like, you know, a couple, like 30, 40 people, maybe like 100, 200, 500 people. We got 82 people in the house. I had to do some ops. Basically, 2 mouse men came in, basically shadow operatives, and I had, in the time that you were out, I had to call the cleaners, I had to get out these huge pieces of carpet, I had to roll up some things, and I had to make copies of certain things, I had to send things, Julian so-and-so, and I had to also work on this stupid telephone apparatus. So, what have you done? Okay? Sitting in there, oh, I took a shower, I took a bath. What are you doing? I mean, this is a war. Call me. The lines are open. That number is 702-805-9277. 702-805-9277.
Everybody went, oh, we should have hung up.
Settle down. Settle down. You're on Crouchy After Dark. Let me know your location and what's going on.
Yeah, I'm the guy with the box. I was trying to tell you that I got blocked on your channel. And then you hung up on me.
Don't take it personal, buddy. We got all kinds of freaking interference. We're running all kinds of freaking Navy intel over here. We got all kinds of antennas and shit. Don't take it personal, okay? Don't be a girl. Tell us what's up. You got
no, I don't. Yeah, I was wondering, though, if you could unblock me.
That might be a problem. Yeah, sometimes through the back of the head. I know. I'm trying to figure out where the souls are resting. Because I didn't block you, so I have to figure out, and that's why I haven't been, you know, taking that thing, because I thought I would be able to go to a certain place. I haven't figured it out. If you can let me know where that exactly is, because I am an idiot, I'll unblock everybody that did that too. But what's your question?
I'm in Tucson, Arizona. I was going to let everybody know what was written in black. I saw a bunch of people wanted to know that. I couldn't chat. I was blocked. And then you got knocked off the air, and that's just the weirdest thing. I don't understand what happened.
Oh no, I didn't get knocked off the air. I had to do a couple things, and when I revert to my, you know, secondary ops, it just cuts off, and you know, that's what it is. You know, the people drop off, it cuts speed, and only, you know, the people that know what's really going on just stick in there because they know it's going to reconnect. Type operation. What's on your mind, sir? Mike's open. Mike? Get spooky out there. To answer this phone. Answer this call from Sriracha. I'm having a hell of a time with this call center. Call call centers are nightmares. I see you in the chat room. I see your attitude. Type it down. I'm trying to do the best I can. Shit. Can I get a super cheese in my life? Can I get a super cheese in my life? Dude, this guy is... I gotta freaking crash the system. And then I gotta do this because obviously there's some sort of operations being run on right there. And I gotta open these. See if I can get... What's that? Just hit me up, nice. Be nice. Why can't you do this? Be nice. I'm writing a script about a guy that he has a YouTube channel. That he was like a failed writer, you know, and he wrote about being like it's a secret nine, but he's really an AI, you know. And in the end times, he like it's like Terminator style, but he like.
Hello?
My girlfriend's like, I thought